Hello and welcome to Newsday on the BBC. I'm Rico Hizon in Singapore.
And I'm Kasia Madera in London. Our headlines this hour.
It's 9 in the morning here in Singapore.
And it's 1 in the morning here in London, broadcasting to viewers in the UK and around the world. This is Newsday. Hello and welcome to the programme. Well, we start in Syria. More than 80 people have been killed in 2 explosions at the University of Aleppo. Well, at the time of the attack, students were sitting their exams. It is still unclear who's responsible. Activists and eyewitnesses say that bombs were dropped from government fighter planes, but the Syrian government blames the rebels. James Reynolds reports from Istanbul in neighbouring Turkey. Now, Rico, you have news of more problems for the troubled Dreamliner. Tell us what's happened. In other news, New York State has just approved one of the toughest gun ownership laws in the United States. It's also the first state to curb gun access since the massacre at a primary school in Connecticut last month. And it comes as President Barack Obama is expected to unveil a series of measures later on Wednesday designed to tackle gun violence in America. Well, to speak to us more about this, we're crossing to Washington to speak to Ben Wright. And Ben, these are really tough controls. We're talking about health screening, we're talking about restricting the ammunition capacity down to 7 bullets. This is very tough for Americans.
Yes, and greater checks on people wanting to buy guns privately. It means that New York now has some of the toughest gun laws in the United States, and they are a direct response to the shooting in Connecticut last month, which certainly among some cities has really galvanized their determination to tighten gun laws. Michael Bloomberg, the mayor of New York, leading the campaign nationally for tighter gun control.
To discuss this, we of course remember what they said after Connecticut. What do they make of this?
You're watching Newsday on the BBC, live from Singapore and London. Still to come with the programme,
Now, away from the headlines, let's catch up with some of the stories grabbing your attention. Also, an increasing number of women are learning self-defense skills in order to be able to protect themselves. It follows the case of the 23-year-old Indian woman who died after being gang raped and thrown from a bus in Delhi. And finally, in China, the thick smog that enveloped Beijing has now started to clear, but the criticism remains. At the height of the smog, authorities in the capital said that some readings were nearly 4 times higher than the World Health Organization's safe limit. All that online.
This is Newsday on the BBC. I'm Rico Hizon in Singapore.
And I'm Kasia Madera in London. Our main headlines this hour. The American talk show host Oprah Winfrey says the disgraced cycling champion Lance Armstrong did not complete clean in the way that she'd expected during their much anticipated interview. But she told the CBS television network that he had answered the questions people around the world had been waiting to hear. Jane O'Brien reports.
And with that, we end this edition of the Newsday from the BBC. I'm Rico Hizon in Singapore.
And I'm Kasia Madera in London. As always, from both of us, thank you very much for watching the programme. See you soon.